Welcome to episode 10, guys. Before we do anything here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and follow us on all socials. Today, we have a good one for you. We both go on a little bit of a rant today, me and DQ. I talk about education. He talks about how people are following some hype trends on social media. Some really good conversation. We also talk about retail returns being at an all-time high. We talk about US and Canada and China relations when it comes to the Winter Olympics. And we also talk about how the SATs are going to be changing and some of our thoughts on that. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It was a really good one. So make sure you stay tuned to the end.
This is the Future Money Show.
Okay, so starting off today's episode, I thought it would be fun to try something new and pretty much have a little section of our episode where each of us do a little rant about something that we feel passionate about. Could be anything. Just to get things started off, I'll start with my little opinion here. I just want to say that I've been going through school. I'm still in school. I'm a junior in college right now. And the whole thing has made me gain a lot of knowledge. Yes. I've gained a lot of random knowledge though. Like I've taken so many different courses that have nothing to do with where I'm going to go in life. Like think about, I can name a few. I've taken biological anthropology, which was a hard class. It took up a lot of time. I took sociology, which I thought I was going to do for a little bit, but still, I'm not going to end up anywhere near that. Sociology. I had to take a cinema and like photography class. Like, so these are all things that like have nothing to do with where I'm going to end up. And I could have been spending my time doing things like other and more important things, right? Listening to a podcast that was going to make me learn more about, buying a home or like investing in stocks or something like that. So point of me saying that was school is our education system in the US is so scattered and so built just for you to get into the workforce that it's been seeming extra pointless lately. Because I've always had the mindset that like, oh, once I get to, late college, then it'll be more specified and I won't have to take other courses. But it's pretty much like that the whole time. And, I'm still here in my junior year taking some classes that are not
irrelevant.
they're not what I would be taking otherwise, but I have to because I want my degree.
No, definitely. I mean, it's just, I hate to say it because and we've gotten comments about like people talking about school before, but I mean, that is the case though. The system is set up for you to be the best worker that you can be. I mean, when you really think about it, you're supposed to study something as best as you possibly can. You follow it as well as your teacher provides it to you or your professor provides it to you. And then you're basically supposed to relay it as perfectly as they did back to them. But I mean, it's not causing you to like, really think about things that are really important, in my opinion, at least. But it is preparing you to be the perfect worker.
Yeah, and let alone the teachers are like old people. Half of them are like 70 years old and have no idea what's going on currently.
One foot in the grave.
Yeah, like if they if they were a lot younger or were in the current market, let's say, or had any idea like what it's like to live as a young person in our world, like they would be a different teacher. Like most of the teachers that I've enjoyed have all been younger teachers.
Yeah, for sure.
There's not very many like 70-plus-year-old teachers who are able to teach or are able to make the classroom like a challenging environment. And that's like the majority of my teachers.
Because I mean, like they're just teaching what they're taught too at the end of the day. I mean, like you can't walk up to like any of these older generation teachers or let me rephrase this, older style thinking teachers, because you have some that are younger that think in that kind of way as well, that mindset. You can't walk up to any of them and be like, oh, hey, what do you think about investing? They'll be like, oh, it's risky, don't do it. Like, yeah, put money into a 401k, start a retirement fund, like that kind of stuff. Like they won't ever take any risk because that's not what they're taught to do. They're taught to work, put it into a pension, and then live off your pension.
Right.
Fuck school. It's a waste of money. I'm joking.
Yeah. The other thing is it's so expensive. Like could that money be used some way else in a more productive way? What if you use that $60,000 to go start a business,
Facts.
or go invest in yourself. So it could be more worth it to do that, depending on the situation that you're in. I don't know.
It's crazy. I was talking to mom yesterday. We were talking about like certifications and stuff like that, right? So for me, I'm like in the process of obtaining like blockchain related certifications, right?
Mhm.
So someone that has a finance degree, for example, like a 4-year finance degree, won't know more than me that has the blockchain certifications.
Right.
And I get them in less of a time. Like because it's such a new field, I'm gonna have a better understanding than someone that's coming out of college with a 4-year degree.
Right.
Off of my certifications alone.
Right. And that's on like a new like technology that will probably change the world. Whereas in college, they're not speaking a word about crypto because it's so new. There's no education on it or anything.
It's all backdated information. So by the time you get out of college, I mean, the fundamentals are still sound, but the information that you're learning that's supposedly new isn't new anymore by the time you get out. But what's crazy about that too, the certifications, your certs are stored on that specific blockchain. Which is sick. So like, for example, Proppy, right? Like you can be a certified agent for Proppy. It's like $500 to take the certification and it's good for 3 years and it's stored on their blockchain. So, I mean, you can always go and search it up, always find it. Don't have to worry about it. Like it's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like most people nowadays just tell you that the degree, it's not like a certification where if you have a certification in something, it lets the employer know like, hey, we know that you understand this versus finance, like a degree is there's none of that. There's no, like, if you have a finance degree, you understand this for sure. It's like, if you have a finance, it's just a degree, like if you have a degree, then the employer assumes they're just going to have to teach you everything. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like colleges have to change going into the future, or at least the education system, because it's not working at the moment. And yeah, I know that the US is ranked like really low on the US's education like ranking, or the world education ranking. But yeah, that's my rant. I think we should move on to yours.
My rant. Oh my. So my rant is I'm tired of people not being smart when it comes to investing. I'm tired of people following these hype trends on TikTok, following these guys on Instagram, following your favorite influencers, and not doing any research. Guys, for like the 50th time, these are financial markets. It's not like, oh, hey, let me just throw $10 here and I'll make $1 million. Like, no, it's these are financial markets. You're not set up to win. Think of it as like you're going to a casino. The house will always win at the end of the day. That's how these financial markets are. Like I've seen literally hundreds of people that are like, oh my gosh, I lost my money. Oh my gosh, I lost my money. You only lost your money because you sold, first of all. And 2, you bought tops. Your influencers shilled you a coin. You're like, yo, bro, this is hype right now. I'm going to buy it. And then guess what? They dump the price on you. And they do that all the time. And then the people that have been in this space for a long time that have been warning you, you're getting out. You're like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about when we started warning you. And then boom, it happens to you guys. You're like, oh, you were right. Yeah, well, we tried to save you the trouble. So I mean, like, I can't tell you how many like messages I've gotten over these last few weeks with this big dip that you and I literally called in one of our first episodes. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I saw it coming. Like people's like, oh, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. No, I literally saw it coming. It's not hard to read a chart or to do your own research. I'm no smarter than anyone else. It's just, I took the time to do the research and to see what's going on. But these influencers, like, they're really bad, man, because they rug people, first of all. Rugging basically means that they pull the price out from underneath people and send their price to zero or send it really low. And I mean, that screws over a lot of people that have confidence in these markets. Not only that, your influencers are telling you to buy Bitcoin at 69K, buy Ethereum at 4K. And they know, like, you have to understand, these guys know that drops are coming in.
Right.
I feel bad for people, but it's like, you guys have to learn to do your own research. I mean, that's like you going to go like buy a car or going to go buy a pair of shoes or buy some jewelry or something like that. You're not going to just throw money at whatever you think looks good. Like, you're going to do a little bit of due diligence on something first before you buy it. And if you're in a financial market, I would definitely do more due diligence than than anything else. And then there's a whole thing around security. I've seen people that, oh, if I just leave all my stuff on an exchange, I'm good. No, exchanges can close down literally at any time. If you were here in the last bull run, like literally, like what was it? 3 exchanges, just boom. Everyone that had money on the exchanges never got it back. Gone. Just like that.
Dang.
And I, like, you and I preach about it, like get a ledger, get a ledger. We literally have an affiliate link in our channel for you to get a ledger. And it's not even a promotion. It's like literally trying to help you guys secure your crypto. Ledger is working on the process of building in an exchange, all in one everything within their platform, which they didn't have a year ago and 2 years ago. Like they've completely beefed up their marketing. Ledger is honestly stepped up their game, but that means also the prices of these ledgers are going to start increasing. So it's better for you to get these things now and get it early and say, okay, yeah, I don't need it yet. Like I literally have a ledger in a box right now that I don't use because I don't need it yet, but eventually I will. And I don't want to pay $500 for a ledger down the line when they've like taken off like completely with main marketing, or they have a shortage of ledgers because now everyone's trying to get one. But it's just you gotta take care of stuff and do due diligence beforehand.
Yeah, I like that rant. One thing you said is you were getting calls from people in this dip, like, what's going on? Where's all my money? And I was talking to mom about this yesterday, that like in big dips like this, I was she was like talking up. We have this financial advisor that lives across our street who we might have on the show one time, I hope. And he's a very smart guy. And she was talking up like, how successful he is and how good of a financial advisor he is and stuff, and how much all his clients are happy. And I was like, I don't know, mom, like when big dips like this happen, when everybody who gave their money to him, they're all people who either don't invest, like don't know how, so they give it to him. They don't have time, so they give it to him, or they just don't even want to do it, and so they give it to him. And so they're not looking at these markets, they're not paying attention, they're not doing anything like that. So when they see their $1 million drop to 800,000, they lose $200,000 in a month, in their account. Like he's getting phone calls all night from his clients saying, what's happening? Like, I'm so scared. Like, what's happening to my money? And, his newest clients who just got on a few months ago are pissed at him. And then his oldest clients are still cool with him, so like, that's like,
they get it.
Yeah. Because if you've been with him for 20 years, then they realize, oh, like in the long term, this is going to be great. He knows what he's doing. But the person who invested a few months ago with him is like losing their mind.
No, but that's like the thing for me. I'm hesitant to help certain people. Like I don't mind giving my opinion to people. Not a financial advisor, never financial advice, just saying that. But I don't mind giving my opinion to people because I have helped a good amount of people. I mean, I like to help people, but there's certain people that come my way that I just like automatically know the kind of investor they would be. So I just send them tutorial videos. I tell them to do their own research. I don't want to indulge because I know if you see the price dipping, they're going to be calling me every 5 minutes. Like, yeah. What about this? What about this? What about this? Like, and then I have some people that just like, they take my opinions on board and they just listen to me and just do whatever I want to do. I'm not perfect, obviously, but at least be able to have a conversation without freaking out. Like you're investing in markets. So there's going to be ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But the longer you stay in the market, the more money you're going to make. That's just facts.
Yeah. And if you're in crypto, like you're seeing the insane volatility right now. But exactly, as fast as it goes down, it goes up, So
no, definitely.
You just kind of have to know that when everyone's scared, you should be
buying
confident. That's when you should be confident and just buying. We don't know the bottom. So, for example, I've just been buying crypto right now, but it keeps going down, so my account in total is down like, let's say 25%, but like most people's accounts right now are down like 80, so like the fact that I'm dollar cost averaging in is sort of balancing out my account.
There we go. Paul just said it the best. The thing is, like I said, with these influencers, they're telling you to buy at prices that are very close to all-time high, if not during all-time high prices. So you give them liquidity so they can exit out of the market and then say, oh, sorry, guys, we didn't know this drop was coming. But what Paul's doing, and I said this to Paul, we've said this in our videos, Me personally, this is just my opinion, but like my buying strategy, as soon as a 50% retracement comes in, if it drops lower than that, that's when I start to buy. Because if you think about it, I have that 60, 70% room to make up before I even hit all-time high prices. So I'll be in profit if I'm buying very close to the bottom. All right, one of my favorite coins, and I don't even really like to throw coins out here, but like Stellar, XLM, right? XLM is almost bottomed, right? And Paul and I have been acquiring XLM slowly. Like I've been dollar cost averaging into XLM because of where it is. It's like 80% retraced. I like if it loses 20%, cool. I just have to live with that. But I'd rather much lose the 20% and gain 80% before it even hits all-time high. And it's probably going to hit price discovery as well because it's been a while. So those are the things you have to look into. Like dollar cost averaging is the most important thing. But also if I'm getting calls and stuff like that and you don't want to listen to my opinion, like if you take my opinion on board, and I'm again not perfect, or like if you take Paul's opinion on board, but then you guys like do something completely different, there's no point in, like, you might as well do the research yourself. Because if Paul and I are like looking at these charts hours upon hours out of the day, and you are someone that's a new investor that hasn't done that, I mean, we're not trying to hurt you. We're trying to help you. Like that's the whole point. Like that's the reason why you reached out to us in the first place. So then to take our opinion on board and then do something else completely different, like what was the whole point about that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're just trying to help everybody out and give information. When you said that a lot of these influencers will, try and hype these coins up while they're in their peak, so people buy and then they'll sell and not let anyone know. That's very true, but it's not even just influencers. Like for example,
institutions too.
Yeah, I was about to say like Bill Ackman is a good example. He's like a very prominent hedge fund manager, investor. He just recently in March, this past coronavirus stock market dump in March, he was sitting there right before the dip, like a week before the dip, saying we need to do this. The president needs to be more strict and have more money being spent, more stimulus, so that the economy, succeeds. And he believes that we're going to be like successful and that we're not going to tank. And at the same time, as he's doing that on the news, he has about $1 billion in shorts because he knows it's going to happen, right? And he's sitting there telling everyone to buy, and that there's a chance that we're going to get past this. And then, the next week it tanks and he makes billions of dollars. So you can't trust anyone in the media. That's realistically, you shouldn't trust us. Like you shouldn't trust us either. You should be doing your own research. You should take what we say as a starting point and then go do it on your own and like fact check us and do that for everybody.
There's a guy, his name is Baz Luhrmann. So my dad tells me this. My dad's been telling me this song since I was a kid. It's called the Sunscreen Song, right? And there's a lyric in there, a line in there. It says that you should take advice, right? Because advice is a form of nostalgia, fished out from the trash, recycled, polished, and given back more than what it was worth. So in other words, you get rid of all of the bad parts of the advice, so all the bad experience that you went through personally. Like say, for example, we went through a bad trade. Then, we're going to give our opinion because we went through it, but we're going to recycle it for more than what it's worth. We're going to tell you guys what not to do because we experienced it ourselves. And that's like something that always has stuck in my head. Like I've gone through ups and downs in this market. So have you, for many, many times. But there's so many new investors coming in and that we're hoping are watching our channel that we're trying to help prepare for all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that reigns in my head every single time I think about it. But you're right. Like the powers that be, like those institutions, like they're not here to help us. Like they're here to get money out of us, pretty much.
For sure.
To help us sell their shares. Like
they're literally only responsible to the clients and their hedge funds.
Exactly.
Okay, so now would be a good time. I feel like I wanted to talk just about a few different news events that have happened. One being, since this will be the most relevant because of the topic of my rant, but the SATs are changing. So they're going to be online. They're going to be easier.
Online?
Yeah, they're going to be online. They're going to be easier. They're going to be shorter. And so basically everybody can pass it.
Bro, when I took the SATs, I took the SAT and the ACT. That was horrible. That was the
Yeah.
most horrible experience of my life because I've never like taken something like that before, obviously. And like, yeah, bro, that was terrible. That was horrible.
Yeah, I took it like twice. I did bad the first time and then took it a second time and did good.
I got lucky. I did decent.
I guess this is I have a lot of thoughts. One is I feel like you absolutely need some sort of benchmark, like if everybody can do well on this test, then like what's the point of the test? Why would you even have a test? And then if everybody can get in then to college and there's no like benchmark, does that mean anyone can go to like Harvard, Like what are they going to judge you on? Your high school grades? Or like is it only alumni that's going to get in at this point then? Or like,
Do you know what I'm curious about then? I think I could be wrong here, but I think a lot of people are starting to go the JUCO route, and that's probably why, because it's significantly cheaper. I mean, its classroom sizes are smaller.
Yeah.
Like obviously outside of athletes, but I mean, athletes only make up a very small percentage of school. Like, okay, for example, a lot of kids that we went to school with decided just to go to Saddleback because it was easier. The education is good.
Right.
At Saddleback, and it's a very easy path for you to get into the college that you want after you do the 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like a lot of people are starting to go that route because everyone's feeling the pinch financially and economically. So this is it's a good economic decision. You stay close to home and you save a ton of money.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably part of it. I don't know, but my assumption on why they did this is it's to benefit like lower income and disadvantaged communities, because they might, like someone in a low income community might not be able to afford the tutoring that someone in a higher income thing does. And so that the person in a higher income might score better, right? When the lower one doesn't even have that chance. Another reason would be like the people in the lower income, right? Let's say someone's really, really good at finance, like really good at finance and math. That's their thing. But they don't have the money to get tutoring or anything. And they take the SAT. They're going to do the one that we currently have. They're going to do really bad because they'll do well in like 2 sections. And then all the other sections, they'll probably do bad, but they're still like super good at finance and stuff. And they would have been really successful, but they never got that chance because they didn't have the money for tutoring in the other spots. So I think this new SAT is trying to make it so that person can still have a chance.
Okay, kind of make it like a level playing field kind of thing.
Yeah. So I like kind of get it in that sense. But I don't think the solution is a new SAT. I think the solution is having like specific industry tests, like if you're going to be really good at finance, take this finance SAT.
Is it kind of like, I get, yeah, I like that. I actually like that a lot.
Why do I got to be good at writing an essay when I'm a math guy,
Yeah, true.
But I don't know. It's just a thought. Those were the thoughts I had when I read this.
I like that. I mean, that's very true.
The next news event was that retailers saw a jump on returns. People have been returning clothing items this past year more than usual. It says retail returns jumped to an average of 16.6% versus 10% the year before. So that's a lot, 16.6%. And it's saying that a lot of it is probably due to the increase in online sales.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast talking a little bit about this, and I think Amazon is so big and wealthy, and they've gotten their supply and demand, or their supply chain like down to a key. It's so easy to return on Amazon. They don't even ask you anything. Have you ever tried to return something on Amazon? They just
give you the money back.
Yeah, they just give you the money back.
Just give you the money. They don't care.
Yeah, they just say we don't even want to deal with the fucking hassle of dealing with you and customer service. We're just gonna give you the money. It's not that big a deal.
And then sometimes they still send you the item as well. Like sometimes it's just delayed, and then
yeah, like it's true. Sometimes you just end up with the item anyways, and they don't care.
No, they really don't.
That probably has fucked up so many small businesses who can't just offer like this magnificent return policy, you know, online like Amazon can. So everyone's just going to go buy it on Amazon because they can return it if they want.
Yeah.
You know, like if you go to like a smaller retailer, sometimes returning stuff is not so easy, you know.
No, sometimes it's a hassle.
I don't know. 16.6% of returning is high to me. That's a huge percentage. I think returns in the past from retailers have kind of been viewed as like a minor problem, you know, like it's something that everyone always talks about, but it's a small percentage of our sales. We'll make sure we have enough money to cover like returns and stuff. But 16.6% is not a small problem.
No, it's not. But also, I mean, then again, everyone was home for the last like 2 years. So everyone's been ordering everything online. And I mean, this might not be you, but like for me, like during COVID, bro, like what was I doing? I was at home working and eating and
nothing
and
much.
other stuff. Yeah, like I was like, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I gained like 20 pounds, bro. So I couldn't fit into like a lot of the clothes that I had before. So I ordered new stuff. And then guess what? As soon as COVID freed up and I was able to go back outside and like go back and play sports and stuff like that, I lost a ton of weight. And then guess what? Those clothes that I bought don't fit me anymore. So I had to return them. Yeah. And it was like, all right, cool. But I mean, I feel like that was the case for a lot of people. And people probably bought stuff that they felt was like, because they were bored, bro. Like we were all bored. Yeah. We were in the house. And then we went
I still
outside.
have my 20 pounds.
Bro, I was tired of looking at my little chub in the bathroom. I was like, nah, let me get rid of this.
No, I'm going for a run after this morning.
Bro, I've been doing 8 miles a day.
Oh, that's a lot. How long does that
take
you?
8 miles a day, hour and a half. Going at
that's
a
lot
pace.
Of running.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's good for the mental, guys. Good for the mental.
Get through a full podcast.
Honestly, exactly. Download the podcast and listen to it on your run.
There you go.
I've been doing audiobooks while I've been running. It's really, really good. And some other podcasts as well. Joey Diaz to hype me up, you know.
You know what one of the people at group chat does? He has like he created a runners club. So he just announces where he's going to be when he goes running at the beach in like LA. And then he has like 30 people or so show up from the podcast to run with him.
Yeah, bro, it's sick. I'm doing I told Paul, I told Paul doing this Nike challenge thing right now. I mean, I was going to do 500 miles. To be honest, I'll probably break that. So my goal is to do 1,000 miles for the year.
Could do that.
We'll see. We'll see if I can get there.
8, you could get there.
Yeah, I mean that's my goal. But I mean, some days like I'm way too tired to do it.
Yeah,
like way too tired. But I mean, I've kept it up every day so far. So
that's a good idea. Like have a goal of miles. I should do that.
It's sick, bro. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. The first week of doing this, it was horrible because my goal, like I told you at first, was only to do 2 miles a day. And then the first time I went, I ended up doing 4, and then I ended up doing 6, and I ended up doing 8. And now, like, eight's been good for me. Yeah. It's hard to do more, but 8's been solid.
I mean, if you just did 2 a day, that's like around 700 if you did it every day.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're doing like 4, 6, you'll get there for sure.
Trying. I'm not gonna lie, but people probably look at me weird because I got my hood up and I'm running at night. It's like
I love running at night.
It's the best.
Okay, speaking of athletes and running and sports, goes into our next news. I found this hilarious. The US and Canada are, I believe, requiring, but they're suggesting that athletes going to the Winter Olympics in Beijing in China should all use burner. They should leave their phones at home and use burner phones. What are they worried? First, I have so many questions.
So do I. I mean,
what are they so worried about on a snowboarder's phone?
That's some gangster shit, though. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, call me on my burner, fam.
That's true. That'd be funny.
Oh, why?
You don't think that China is gonna think something when they go to like look into everyone's phones and they realize no one has a real phone on them?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't even know. It's crazy.
When I went to China, they really, it seemed like they were looking at my phone. When you get there, you can't open Snapchat, Instagram, Google, YouTube, anything related to the US, you cannot open on your phone. It's like banned. Yeah.
They have one internet and one provider, right? So everything's under one
something
blanket.
like that. Yeah, it's all under. Everyone uses WeChat.
Yeah,
an app called WeChat. It's basically you can pay your rent, groceries, utilities, taxes. It's the social media app. You text through it. It's literally like all in one app. And we don't, because they don't have Snapchat or YouTube or Instagram, or it has to all be their own version of it.
Have you ever seen the China social credit chart before?
Mm-mm.
So it was something that was proposed like a couple of years ago. Don't ever know if that's going to come to light. But basically, your ranking in society will be based upon this social score. So if you're a person that talks bad about the government, you go down. If you're a person that helps like report like a crime, you go up. It's crazy. But I mean, it makes sense that you said that because of like the whole, everything basically is operated through this app and monitored by this app. I mean, that's crazy.
It is super crazy. I remember being there, being like super shocked that like there was no other apps, but there was this one app that they pretty much used everything for everything. Like they literally, it was Uber too. Like they ordered the like our taxis through freaking WeChat.
That's ridiculous.
And then they went and paid for lunch with it. It was crazy. That was the first thing I was thinking of. What are they so worried about on these athletes' phones getting out? Like, what is the U.S. government so worried about in the Canadian government? Like, there's some snowboarders, some skiers. Like, I don't know what are they going to see on their phones that China can't already see? You know?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty crazy.
I don't know. Closing out our episode, we like to give our advice to everybody. Not financial advice. Never. My advice this week is going to be, or this episode, we talked a lot about school, and I kind of bashed it a little bit and talked about all the things that I kind of didn't like about it. But in our past episode about school, we talked about a lot of positive things as well. So there are positive things about college and education. It's just they don't apply to everybody. So my advice is that for yourself, you should analyze your situation, figure out what kind of situation you're in and what you're able to do, and decide what the best option is for you. Should you go to college? And this is just if you're a young listener, of course, but should you go to college, or should you go directly into the workforce, or should you take another route? For everybody, it might be different. Everybody has different opportunities and routes they can take. For our older listeners, get into the trenches with like information on what you want to learn. So if you want to learn more about NFTs, get deep into Discord and Twitter. If you want to learn about crypto, start reading the white papers, start trying to understand what the markets are about, try and find some reliable resources. Like there's places to learn this stuff, and it's not just impossible to find. So if you're an older listener, just start digging. It's not hard. If you really want to learn about it, you can.
Definitely. I guess my advice would be find a desire for something that you like, because if you find a desire for something that you like, it will then grow your faith in that specific thing. It'll allow your imagination to then give you a dream, and then you'll be able to make your dream become a reality if you have that desire, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
So I mean, that's like a main thing. Like for example, like this podcast is a desire for myself and for Paul. Paul and I are like-minded in a lot of ways, so we want this to be successful, and we have a desire to get this information out to everyone else. But it's a dream of ours for us to do this as our career kind of thing. And make the dream a reality through our desire.
I like it. Yeah, I like that advice. That's what we're trying to do.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, this was episode 10, I think.
Damn, crazy.
Yep, this was episode 10. We're at the big 10. I think we should do 100 episodes. Once we get to 100 episodes, we're going to do something special.
Yes. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna do something special too.
As well, yes. Once we get to 1,000 subs. So make sure you hit that sub button. Yes.
Hit that.
Hit the sub button. Make sure you thumbs up this video, and please comment what you want us to talk about in the comments, because we will talk about them. We want your opinions, and
stop telling us that we're broke.
That's yeah.
The whole mark is red. We know. You don't have to tell us. We know.
Another thing I was gonna say is, if you're watching this video, if you're a listener and you've made it to the end, leave a comment. Just go comment right now.
Yeah, like leave a thumbs up,
positive, and thumbs up if you've listened to it this far.
Just say something nice. You like that me and Paul are matching today. Sounds something stupid.
Yeah, our eyes look pretty. Something.
Oh my god. I have nice curls. like anything. We appreciate the feedback. Obviously we're trying to grow this channel. I feel like, and I might be being a little bit biased obviously, but I feel like we do have a lot of content to offer, but we can only do so much until we start to get a bigger following. Like, we would love to do more deep dives and stuff like that, but we can only do what you guys would like us to put out. You know what I mean? So the more you guys engage, like the video with Nick was the most engagement we've gotten so far. Shout out to Crypto Moon Boy for coming on here again. We're looking to have more guests in the future for sure. But I mean, that kind of engagement was good for us. So, as we continue to grow, then we'd be able to do more stuff.
For sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.